And we are live. Hi, guys. Welcome to RC Talk. Like the title says on my video, I called it RC Talk US versus Canada. Actually, it wasn't supposed to be US versus Canada, but it's a Dragbolt Monthly Mayhem challenge that Harley Design and the Scale Builders Guild are doing. So every month they're going to come up with new challenging and new stuff. So that should be kind of interesting. But this month, it's actually a drag bolt. What they've done is, or what they want to do, is convert a brand new SCX-102 drag bolt into a dragster and make it go fast as they can. So, and we actually have Josh here with us today. So how you doing, Josh?
Not too bad. Going pretty good. A little earlier here than is where you are, I expect. So we still have some light out. So.
Oh, it's been dark here for a little bit. I think you're 3 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
So but no, good day. Just end of the work day right now. So.
And Troy is actually with us also, but he's 4 hours away from you. So he's an hour back from me.
Oh, gotcha.
So he's from Eastern Canada, and you're all the way out west.
So yeah, but no, it's we got a fun little series going on right now, I think, and it's, you know, we're not going to do them every month, but you know, we'll come up with.
You're not going to do it every month. I thought it was a monthly thing.
Yeah, it'll be month long, and then you know, it's the name is a little deceiving. I agree, but we've got plenty of terrible ideas. I think it's more just about our time.
So here's Arlie's channel. So
yeah, I broke 30,000 subscribers today.
There you go. Congratulations. 30,000. Wow, that's good.
So, yeah.
You also got your monster truck that you're building.
Yep.
And a whole bunch of different projects on the go with your 3D printer that you've done. That's a pretty interesting series, that 3D printer one.
You know, it'll probably, I've been 3D printing for a long time, and you know, I'm by no means, you know, timely with the addition of the series, but I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. And we have also Matt from Scale Builders Guild that's actually doing his stuff. So I invited him, but he said he was busy. He's going to try to pop in, but he doesn't know if he will. And I also invited Steph from the LED wheel. So maybe he's going to show up in here also and chit chat about drag racing and things like that. But there was a comment that you made. Let me stop presenting here. For some odd reason. Okay, there we go. I made a comment on one of your YouTube video, and you actually mentioned you're going to beat Matt, even though if he counts it in kilometers and you count it in miles per hour. I can't wait to see the math that actually comes up with that.
Right. You know, so we'll have a new video. Matt and I will both have a new video that goes up tonight. So I have to finish wrapping mine up. I filmed it yesterday, edited most of it last night. Didn't get a chance to wrap it up today, but we'll both post that up. And I'll have my new speed record will go up today, so I'm looking forward to that. And you know, I think Matt will have a little update on his. Not sure where. I haven't done many changes to mine, but you know, we're going for top speed on this, not like a short run, but as long as we can facilitate the. I think I run mine to about the end of the radio reception to try and get all of it.
How far is that for the system you're using?
I'm running a top of 4 PV, so I mean it's hard to see it when it gets to the end. You know, I'm running fairly blind at both ends, but you know, it's without standing on top of my vehicle or anything like that.
Is that new grease working out in the axle as well?
So far in the front, it's kept temps way down. So you know, the front was getting hotter than the rear before, but I haven't opened up the rear at all yet to see how those gears are doing. We'll see. I've got a lot of things to try in the next week or two, so we'll see how the end performance really is. now next week is our fourth video, third week, whatever you want to call it, week 4, week 3. But we actually won't report our top speeds next week. So that's that'll all stay quiet until the final week. So that'll be here around the corner, and I expect to have a lot more done to it by then. I expect it to look a lot different than it does now.
And even if you beat a certain record by your last video, are you going to stop trying to go faster, or are you going to try to keep going faster?
No, I'll definitely try and go faster
Until you destroy it.
So, you know, I was real close to my goal yesterday, or not yesterday, Wednesday, when we posted the video. You know, I had said at the beginning I wanted to do 60. On Wednesday I posted 59, and so it was good, you know. And then yesterday I went and ran again, and you know, it did well again. Yesterday I took it home not broken for the first time. So
That's impressive.
So the modification that you've made on the 3D printed has been holding up?
Yeah. I incorporated a new battery tray design in the back, and it's made out of 90 thousandths thick, or I don't know what that would be in metric, but you know, close to 3 mil aluminum. And it's a big stressed piece. It helps add a lot of rigidity. And also I've got the printer now, the one that's going over there, or I guess they're both going, but the one on the left, I'm printing stuff out of PETG now. So it's a lot stronger than PLA, which is your typical filament, the easiest to use, most common to use. PETG is kind of a mix, and it gives you a lot of the benefits of ABS without a lot of the hassles. It's kind of the best of both worlds. So
Can you drill into it without it separating the layers?
So yeah, the bonding of the layers is much better than PLA.
Okay.
You know, you print it at a higher temperature. It's, you know, there's just a lot of pluses about it. It's a little bit harder to print than PLA. You know, PLA basically, is the easiest thing to print. It's very, very simple.
So there's a bunch of people in the chat room right now, and they're chatting. And Axiomatic RC, he actually said a funny. He's actually saying Harley is trying to go back to the future at 88 miles per hour.
You know, I will be very surprised if I see the 70 mark. I'm throwing a lot at it in the next 2 weeks. You know, both you know, I have plans to throw a lot at it as far as design goes, but I'm replacing a lot of parts in it that are there already to try and make sure that it goes even faster.
And are you going to try to take the front off and just use the rear, just like Matt is doing, or are you going to keep 4x4?
We'll see. It depends on how things start going once I start looking at aerodynamics. Right now, like in the video that'll go up tonight, you'll see it's once I was hitting my top speed now, I was starting to get, you know, there was one time where I got air underneath the front end and it just backflipped. You know, it just caught, you know, became a parachute and did a big backflip. So I'm past the limit where I need to take care of that. And right now, there's times where I can watch on the high speed footage as it comes by where the front end will be in the air or unloading. So I can tell that center diff is working, but also at the same time, it's helping me keep it on the ground slightly. But once I get some aerodynamics in there, I think that, you know, having all-wheel drive again will not be a problem or not be a bad thing. But if I go to a rear wheel only, it's not as simple as, you know, just gutting the front end and taking the drive shaft off, because I've got a center differential in there. So
I've got transmission made for that.
Yeah, I've got to take care of locking that out in a way that is reliable. And so, you know, I've got custom machined parts in there right now, so I can't just fill that one with JB Weld and then, if I don't like it, undo it. You know, if so, I would have to, you know, just waste that one and go to a new setup where I'd have to machine that as well.
Yeah. Some people actually put plasticine also in it, or a putty like that. You can actually remove it.
Right. And, yeah, I've seen some of that, but I thought a lot of that time that worked almost like a limited slip. I've seen some of that putty still move.
if that putty is packed pretty tight, it has nowhere to move, so it shouldn't. But I know what you mean. If there's enough torque, it's going to move. But
right. At those RPMs, I would hate to have that come loose and then have to try and dig all that out.
You're still using the plastic axle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the rules. You can't change the axles. And
now, you have to use an AR44 based axle. So if I end up throwing a pinion through a housing, I'll do what I have to do to put a center axle.
The Vanquish
right.
equivalent.
So
now Matt was saying that with your wheels and the hex that you got in there, you're now wider stance than the original one.
Right. He's crazy because I'm actually a 1/4 inch narrower than stock. So it is quite narrow.
Yeah, now that you're showing like that, when you were holding it and when you're showing it, it does look narrow. But when I look at your pictures and some of your videos, it looks wider for some odd reason.
Well, when you put that body on it, I've slammed that body down.
Yeah.
Matt's body, you can still see underneath the grill of his. I've cut the bottom of the grill off. My body posts are as low as they'll go. My body is considerably lower than what he's got his set at. So it's got a very different looking stance. But
yeah, and I guess that does make a big difference. I think his front wheel spoiler that he's put in front is really going to help him bring his front down.
Yeah, it will. And in this coming week, I've got some plans to do some similar things. So I'm going to try and build something that gives me a decent amount of air deflection over the top of the front of the body.
Yeah, and I've seen some of your comments also saying that you'll probably do something underneath that also to stop the air from going in there.
Yeah, so I've got that here. I actually started working on that before the first upgrade video came out, and it's over there on the shelf right now. But I've got a full pan underneath. Right now I'm just kind of trying to debate whether it's going to be too heavy, if that's what I'm going to use, if I'm going to use something like it and sheet it with Lexan, try and do some sort of framework. I don't know yet. It depends on how much time I want to spend like on the mill, carving material out or things like that.
Yeah. The gearing that you put in the front, does that change the gearing of the original one?
Same gear ratio.
Same gear ratio, okay.
So, I haven't seen a real dependable gear set, that is different than the stock ratio. So I'm not gonna even go down that route. It's not like the old AR-60 or original SCX-10 axles where we had dependable gear ratio options.
Yeah.
Not at those speeds.
So, it's like, well, the stock axial gears from like the AR-44s, or the AR-60s and the original SCX-10s, those originally came out of the HPI, the MT4. So, and I'm not sure if they were used on something before that. So those gears were actually go fast gears before they were ever used in crawling.
Yeah, true. I'm going to ask the people in the chat room if they have a question for you regarding the Dragbolt or even the 3D printer or whatever you got working on. And also, I got two people here in the chat room. If you guys want to ask him a question about his truck, go right ahead. Steve O.D., why don't you present yourself to him? He probably doesn't know you.
What's going on? I watch his channel, but he probably don't know me.
I've seen the avatar before, the UDR, I think, right?
Yeah, UDR.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen that there. I've seen pop up questions and comments.
See, he does watch and listen and reply. It is him that's replying.
I see all the comments, that's for sure. I go through that quite a bit.
You're pretty quick at answering them too.
On the new ones especially, it's some of the older ones that can be harder to, or if it's like a reply to a comment from a long time ago. Most everything I do is from the phone, and
doesn't update you quick from
so Well, it does, but you use an app called YouTube Creator Studio, and it summarizes things for you. It gives you an easy. Hey, look, Evo D was one of the last 3 comments.
See, you're one of the last 3 comments.
But it gives you there. But like if it's on an old video, if it's a reply to a comment, then it gets buried, and I have to go try and find it because it doesn't pop up in the new comment list. So, but with new videos, it's way easier. I go back to those, check comments, go back and forth, respond.
Okay. Bucks or SeaWorld is asking a question. Can you attach part to the body or only to the chassis for aerodynamics?
We didn't really specify any stipulations there. So, if we wanted to put like a windshield on it or something like that, we could do that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much open. Like, I know Matt put flames on his, so it should go faster now. He's got flames.
So, when Matt and I started talking about this, we have just a shared notes file on our the iOS, so we can see what each other are doing or suggesting things like that. So, the full rules for the whole thing were solid axle AR44, no wider than stock track width. It says no wider than. So it doesn't say it has to say the stock track. I'm narrower. I'm still legal. Stock wheelbase. But I said must keep most of the SCX10 chassis just because, it had possibilities or thoughts that I may end up having to pack off part of it or something like that. Who knows? Had to keep the cage and a driver. I saw Matt changed out his driver. I might do the same. Maybe I'll 3D print like one of those speed bicyclist helmets, like the
Okay.
4S battery limit, GPS measured speeds, Bonneville style. No budget, no distance restrictions.
Yeah, that's what I find interesting is the no distance one, because when I saw you practice with it, like you're gutting it off the start and you're stopping real quick.
Oh,
that's hard on the gears.
Oh, it's definitely hard on stuff. But I'm definitely not gunning it. So the only time I was like kind of gunning it and stopping was when I was just jackassing around.
That's when you broke all the parts.
Yeah, there was that. But that was in the parking lot, just doing dumb stuff. This parking lot I have here is way too short. I can't do anything. But like when I go do a speed run or something like that, I have to roll into it pretty slow because it'll just backflip, even with the center diff.
I guess it would, man. You got a lot of power on it.
Yeah, it does, and that's so I'm definitely I'm still looking to add more power, more speed. So that's
Now Bucks or SeaWorld is asking, can you add weight to keep the back from going back and forth, or add weight in the front, whatever?
Yeah, we could add weight if we wanted. I think that kind of like anything, I'd like to minimize adding additional weight as a band-aid as much as I can. I'd like to try and fix it with steeper aero or things like that. If I have to move the weight, it's going to take the power. So if I can deal with it a different way, then I'd like to try and do that instead.
Engineer it, overweight it.
Yeah, and on some like the Rustler speed run cars and things like that, I know guys just threw a ton of weight in the front of those things to keep them down, and because you could overpower them so much, and the drive line was efficient enough that it wasn't that big of a problem.
Yeah.
But my drive line is by no means efficient. These AR44 gears are just brutal power sucking gears.
Yeah, I guess they would be. Another question from Bucks RC World. He says, "What about wheelie bars?"
So I've got a wheelie bar set here that I thought about putting on. Being that I have a center differential right now, it's I'd like to not be on the wheelie bars while I'm driving, but with the center diff, it theoretically should keep take power from the rear and put it to the front if I'm going back on my wheels that much. And I am trying to get easy out of the hole because we saw the gears. They didn't want to hold up to a ton. But I do have a wheelie bar set here. If you know, if I replace the axles in both, or the gears in both sides, and I can put down the power, it'd be nice if I could get out of the hole a little harder and then try and get up to speed.
Axiomatic RC is saying the crash that Harley had into his GoPro was insane.
Yeah.
The dent on it is evident.
Doesn't it have a little hole in it now too?
It's almost a hole. It's so like if you look from the inside, it looks like a hole because it stretched the paint so far that it you know,
you only see the white.
Is clear.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, the amount of denting on the inside is it's gonna blow out on video, but it's, I mean, it's 4 or 5 millimeters into it. And it's sharp.
I'm happy you didn't try to dent it out. I'm happy you didn't try to like heat it up and try to take it out. It adds character to the truck.
Yeah, it's and I think the dent is actually from my tripod. I think so. It's you can't ever see it in video, but there's a perfect ring that kind of goes from here to here on the body, and it's just this half ring, and it's actually from where so I run this little GoPro setup that I built, and it's got a 55 millimeter ND filter setup that I run, and that just left a perfect little ring around it.
Cool.
That's a beautiful setup for your camera.
This thing is great. It's it really makes using a GoPro, like, I don't carry my big DSLR anymore. Like I use so when I film like regular videos here in the shop or things like that, I use this is a Canon, and you know, this gets set up on a tripod, and then I've got my big shotgun mic.
Yeah. Now hitting that at high speed, I would cry.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either. But you know, like when I used to have to go film out, you know, on the rocks or things like that, I would take this and, you know, either shoot handheld or shoot with a big gimbal, and it's just it's cumbersome and things like that. So I wanted the new GoPros have really good image stabilization, and the thing is the audio sucks. It's just GoPro audio is terrible. So GoPro has an external audio adapter now if you want to run a microphone. So it's big though. It's this big box. It's 1 inch by, you know, 2 inches by 1/2 inch tall.
Mm-hmm.
So to try and put that on anything, it's kind of a pain. So I designed this little box that goes underneath, and that houses the adapter. And my mic plugs in on one side, and then my little case has this coil cable kind of keeper. And then I run like a high-end, it's made by a company called Edige, I don't know how you say it, Edige or something, Edige, I don't know. But it's a directional shotgun microphone that looks almost like a lavalier mic. And it makes this thing just a rock star to carry. So.
And the legs, did you print those?
No, this is a Joby Gorilla Pod. It's the 1K size, which is it's, I think technically they say it's anything up to 1 kilogram, so 2.2 pounds. So that I originally had bought it for this because this is a lightweight DSLR. But I ended up finding that it was really good. So like a Gorilla Pod is kind of like the standard that people use for vlogging. Yeah. That whole thing. So I ended up using it on this, and it was about, I don't know, 40% as long again. I just took off the ends, shortened it down to make it more handheld size. The Hero 7 came out today though, so I ordered that. So
yeah, pretty good price too. The Hero 7 is like $400. That's not bad.
So yeah, it's $400, but if you go through GoPro, they'll give you $100 credit for any digital camera you trade in. So
I got a Hero 3 I could bring in.
I've got the OG Hero that I'm going to send them. Like,
Oh, so it doesn't have to be a GoPro. It could be anything.
so it can be anything. It's set. I think it's just their way of funneling direct sales to them rather than through dealers, basically.
Okay.
You know, since they have to give dealers such a big discount, it's their way to bring customers direct. But yeah, this is the original GoPro.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's quite a. And I've got a cut. This is my. Well, actually, these are both Hero 6s. But you know, these are such good cameras now. But that Hero 7 is going to be pretty nice with their new stabilization. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Your deadbolt body has to look the same, right?
It has to be a deadbolt still. So,
Okay. So if you put a Lexan windshield on it, or
yep.
clear plastic, but attached it from the beginning of the grill, and then leaned it all the way back
the
to
big swooping one all the way.
Yeah,
it's a possibility. I could do it. You know, when I'm fighting for miles an hour, it might be realistic. So,
I
you know,
like
if I was,
the helmets for speed cyclists.
right. So, you know, yeah, adding a sloped windshield of some sort was a thought of mine, and just to attach to the side here, kind of come down, just give it a little bit of a kick. But, you know, I've got it opened up in the back a little bit for, you know, trying to get the air out of the body, let it escape, try and let it parachute as little as possible. And then I've got like the speed holes in the back of the cowl.
Okay.
So just trying to get some air out of this thing.
You could put a diffuser on the back that would push it up a bit, and then bring the nose down. Sure, you
So
can
I'm hoping that a diffuser and all that I can mount to the an under tray, an under pan, basically.
Yeah. Grant's RC will just ask a question. Grant's RC, not World, but so is Matt going to be the next guest? I did invite Matt to be here at the same time. His Thursday are pretty booked for the rest of the month, so he couldn't join. So hopefully we'll have him another day, or we'll do this again near the end. We'll see.
So this is the beginnings of my under tray, actually. So some big side mounts that are printed there, and so this would actually sit. It's not sitting properly, but
yeah.
Oh, very nice.
So, and then I've got a ton of extra length on there now. You can see the wheels sit about centered. You know, with all the hardware in the way, it's not going down. But
Understood. So that's made out of aluminum.
This is aluminum, yeah. It's not very heavy, but there's weight there. And then this would give me a lot of area to mount a rear diffuser, a front, splitter. Maybe even take my battery out of the chassis, mount it low on this pan.
Yeah.
Things like that. Try and start getting things down, start trying to get clean air. At this same point, then I would hope to print pieces that would, or make pieces out of Lexan and things like that that would help channel the air around it and around over the body smoothly. So try and seal it off more.
Well, it's just like my unicorn I have. I have the unicorn here, and it has ridges at the back for the air, so it actually helps.
Yep. The rear diffuser on that one.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of cool.
That would be along the lines. I've got a.
I was hoping you'd grab that F1.
So this is one of my coworkers, actually. This is a Serpent F1. Just a pretty amazing model, though. So it is nitro, but it's got some pretty awesome aerodynamic stuff. Just super clean.
Yep.
Looking at some of the little things on this, as far as how they're channeling air around different parts of the car, where they feel like it's necessary, where they don't. So
You mounted that plate underneath your chassis, you could move everything onto it.
yeah, you know, I would what I would try and do is I would try and not mount so much to it that it became the chassis, because I still want this to be an SCX10 chassis vehicle. So
You mounted above it.
so yeah, as long as the SCX10 chassis is still the main thing, that I would still like it to be able to function technically without the plate. So
Okay.
when I designed, you know, like the skid plate, you know, I designed all of this with the intention of using that. So like there's bosses on the bottom of the skid plate for mounting holes through it to help tie the center of it to the pan with the sides. There's, you know, it was all thought about while I was doing it. But still makes a lot of work to do.
Are those wheels heavy?
No, they're an 8-scale buggy wheel, so they're super light plastic glue on, and the primes are not very heavy. So I've got a couple of sets here.
But everything is so well packed. It's kind of amazing, like how everything is nice and tight.
Yeah, everything's, you know, I've got some luxuries that most wouldn't, you know, like I've got, you know, we've reverse engineered a lot of parts so I can use them to design my parts off of. You know, yeah. I can pull parts into CAD and connect the dots and 3D print something that's fairly complicated with a lot of accuracy.
Barhar Bro Basher is saying hi. He's online. I don't know if you know him. I think you do.
I do know who he is. He's a Yeti XL fan.
Yeah, the big Yeti XL. He's taken like 2 of them, split in half, and then made 2 other ones. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm. So right now, what I'm working on actually is I actually posted on Instagram just before we started on this, but I'm working on a axle-mounted servo bracket for this. So right now, you know, my servo horn is even with the bottom of the pumpkin on this axle, so it's low. But I can't do a normal axle-mounted servo on top because I don't have clearance with all the tie rods and things. So I'm actually going to basically make an axle-mounted servo that puts my servo in the same spot. But that's right now I've got wicked bump steer with this car. And
Oh, really?
I've
Even though you don't have a lot of travel, you still have a lot of bump steer?
just, the geometry is not right, you know. So I'm just lucky that it hasn't been that it doesn't have a lot of travel, and being that I'm running a high-speed gyro, it just hasn't affected it that much. But you know, when I cycle, it's
Oh man, that's noticeable.
Yeah. Now, what about limiting your front shocks? Because theoretically in drag racers don't barely have shocks.
yeah, but there's a difference between drag racing and the racing that we're doing. You know,
Yes.
just a high-speed run where I'm going a quarter mile across, you know, what is the most ideal pavement we can find, but isn't necessarily ideal pavement. So when I started on this, I had actually locked out all the shocks with titanium little turnbuckle links, and it was going to be bouncy. So, and I've only got probably 4 or 5 millimeters of travel.
Yeah, when I saw you squeezing, I was like, "Well, that's not very much movement."
No.
Yeah, there's nothing. And honestly, when you go straight up and down, there's a little bit of bump steer, but not a ton. But it's when you go one side at a time.
Okay.
And it's brutal.
You have a gyro on there?
Oh yeah, I'm running a Futaba GY 430, I think.
Yeah, but the gyro does not compensate for bump steers.
GYC 430. Well, so it would be you know, as something would happen, if it would counter steer the wrong way, or steer it the one way, the gyro would then react and straighten it the other way. But it would still be directly affected every time you hit a bump and sending you possibly the wrong direction. So we're gonna go axle mounted and see how that goes. It's printing right now. It's a 3-hour print, so it's making good progress over there. I can tell. which is good. So I'm not making a, PETG bush while we're talking.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad. And like I've read some comments and some of your replies also saying about the suspension and why you've went up. By the way, what's the length of those shocks again? 60?
60 millimeter, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I thought they were 60 millimeter. And
Yeah.
some people, I go, well, that's not enough to go on the rocks. Like
Yeah.
go crawling. It's not being built for crawling anymore.
Yeah, it's we'll see how it goes in the end. We'll see if that's something I need to try with it or not. I don't suspect that front servo mount's gonna be all that gracious.
Trail ready.
Approach angle. Yeah.
But you
So.
go to the parking lot to the very first root of a tree, like faster than anybody's business.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Let's go.
And then carry it home in a bag.
Right. I have just with the tumbles and things like that that's taken at this point already. There's definitely things that are not at the proper orientation.
Okay.
Things have had been moved back around. And
Axiomatic is asking, what's the weight of the oil in your 60 millimeter shocks?
it is whatever was supplied with the Sakura D3 when I built it.
So they come from a Sakura D3.
Yeah, they come off my drift car, which is above me right now.
So it might not even have oil in there.
Feels like it.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they do. You can hear the air and the oil mixing all over. So here.
Air and oil shocks, nice.
Yeah, exactly. Properly bled. I am 100% positive. That right rear doesn't feel like it's. That one doesn't really feel like it does either. There's a good chance they don't.
Something you should check.
Yeah. We may get to that point. We may not.
Yeah. True.
So, I'm going to just throw more horsepower at it and see if that fixes it.
A few years back, I actually took and I was trying to build a drag racer. I took a mini Revo and I extended it by putting links. It was twin hammer lower links, and I put an SCX10 rear end on it.
Right. Didn't you have a rat rod body on it?
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
So that one is in the States right now getting a makeover. It's been there for a year and a half. Hopefully I'll get it soon. But the guy got into a car accident and had to go recovery, and so there's a big story behind it. But now he's doing better, so he should hopefully have it done soon. But he's putting a new power system in there. He's doing a lot of different modification. So it should be interesting, but I can't wait to get it back. Because I actually turned it into a crawler, because I found that because of the rear links were so long, I was getting too much torque twist, and I could not keep it straight. It just had too much power. It just was twisting, bending out of shape, and just going everywhere. So I decided to make a crawler out of it. And man, it's so low to the ground, it just crawls everywhere. It just goes over everything. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was, with the long rear links, my rear links on this thing are 40 millimeter titanium links. So they're short. It's, a normal SCX10-2 rear upper link is 117 millimeters. So it's a significant difference. But
You think you're going to put a Mamba Monster X in that thing? Somebody's asking.
no, I've got a different system that'll going to go in it.
Bigger?
So, I mean, I think amperage wise is probably fairly comparable on the ESC. I'd have to look at the specs exactly, but so I'm not going. I don't have room to really go with like a, God, I can't remember whatever size the Mamba Monster systems are. I honestly don't think. I think that some of that, like going too big on the motor, I think would be a little bit of a waste of energy, just because I still have to transmit it through drive shafts to AR44 gear sets.
What are you using for drive shafts?
Stock wild bores.
Really? And they're holding up?
So far, this thing has wild bores in it. You know, and it's got this long rear drive shaft. I mean, it's as long as you can make a wild bore, actually, because it's the 2 longest ones that they have. And the slider actually isn't even fully. I wish that I had them a little bit longer, but I would say that the rear drive shaft is probably like a Yeti length.
Okay.
Is it starting to show any signs of
No, I don't see any twist in it at all. So, like I said, I try not to really hammer it out of the hole, other than when I'm, you know, playing around. But they're surprising the hell out of me too. The problem is if I do need to change them, the front drive shaft is so short that I don't know that I can find a drive shaft short enough that I would actually run. You know, I mean, I've seen like I think there's some like really short, you know, Punisher shafts and things like that, but I would never think of putting something like that in this.
Where are the stock axles for your trail honcho?
The stock what?
The stock axles for the drive shafts for the trail honcho.
Oh, I've got tons of wild bore parts. So I've got tons of those. So I'm not worried about. I'm just worried about if I actually have to make a change to a different model.
Okay.
Because my front drive shaft on this is just so short.
I saw how short that was.
Yeah, it's just nothing in there. I know this is too dark to see anything. But
Yeah, I saw some of your pictures.
Oh, no, I see it there at that angle.
yeah. So.
It doesn't even look like it should work.
Right. I mean, it's just so short. The only
There's big angle too.
and then the rear is long in comparison.
Is that a big angle on the front though?
So none of the angles are actually all pretty shallow in comparison. The front's got a little bit more angle than I'd like, but it's still reasonable. So
is your truck balanced from right to left and front to back?
I haven't done any scale look on that. You know, I think left to right, I highly doubt that it is. You know, just because with the motor offset so hard, and I don't really have a way to throw a bunch of weight to the other side. I've got the ESC kind of kicked over there and kicked off to the side a little bit to try and help, but that's really the only thing I have much ability to move at this point. Once I go to a big underpan, I'll have the ability to get things weighed out. I might pick up one of the setup stations with the 4 scales and go all out. But
yeah, Bar Harbor Brasher is saying you're a Tekin guy. Is that true?
So I've worked with all of those guys for so long. You know, so I know the guys over at Tekin. I use a lot of Tekin, but I also use a lot of Castle. Castle's in Kansas City, so I've known, you know, so I've known the Castle guys for a long time as well. So like, what did I use? I just put a system in something here recently. Oh, I just put a system in that mud truck, that TRX4. And I used a Castle Sidewinder 4 and a 1410 3800 kV system in that. So, and then Holmes is a good friend of mine from not far from Kansas City. So I use a bunch of his stuff too. It's, you know, I know all of them enough that I support all of them. I like all their stuff. So I use all of it.
Yeah, and I find when all their stuff is pretty good when you use them right. Where I find a lot of people are blowing motors or blowing stuff is when they're putting a wrong ESC with the wrong motor, that it's not compatible, or they're using the wrong pinion, making it work too hard. And then they wonder why the motor blows. That's just boggles my mind.
Overamping, overvolting, not watching your temperatures, things like that. Yeah, that'll blow up anything. But at the same time, there's so many choices, and you know, getting into something new, you can make those mistakes easily. You know, and I always think that I've got info out there, and then someone asks me like, "Oh, where should I look?" I'm like, I guess I don't ever have, you know, like that definitive answer for anybody. So it's always hard. I get it.
Yeah, and then one of the questions, you probably get that also. Okay, what's the best truck, or what's the best motor for me? Well, it all depends. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to ride it? What, like, there's a lot of what.
Any of these. Pick one. Any of those will be fine. Except that. So, not that
What do you mean pick anyone?
one.
I want to see the
great trucks.
I want the forklift.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I've got, there's some terrible cars in there. There's some great cars in there, actually.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I noticed that you're now using the same connector that I use. So
yep, I've gone to XT60 on almost everything. I like soldering them better. I like how they pull apart better.
they are nice to solder.
And before you were what, Dean's?
Dean's, yeah. And, you know, then I love the XT30s. I like the XT90s. The XT90s, first time used on that, I got an Outcast up there on top. And that was the first time I had really had experience with them. I was like, nice plug. And I'd used XT60s before. Like back in the day when we were buying batteries from, you know, kind of when lipos, we were all just kind of having to find a place for them and import them. You know, to find them that weren't $100 a battery pack, we had to go to China usually. So, and you'd have to order, like, the shipping was terrible. So we'd get like 5 local guys together and you'd order, you know, 5 packs each. And then you'd get them all there and you test them. And you'd be like, okay, well, 80% of them work, so we're good. And that's, you know, you knew that some of them were going to come bad, but they all came with these stupid yellow plugs that none of us had ever seen. So we cut off those yellow plugs and threw them away. And that's, now we're back to using them. So I get mine in bulk from a company, RC Juice. They sell them nice price. Fast shipping for me because they're local, and just works out well.
I'm looking for one of my cars, and I can't find it right now. I don't know what I did with it. I want to show you my dancing rider, the one I did.
I saw you post some videos of that on Instagram the other day.
Yeah.
So I follow the dancing rider hashtag on Instagram. So anytime anyone posts, it's 95% Japanese, but I saw, you know, the tank RC.
I remember you commenting on it. That's true.
Yep. Driving it up and down the hallway in your office or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my dancing riders back there. There's another one next to it, and then there's 2 new boxes below that. So that's everybody should have dancing riders.
Oh, they're completely different. The first time my son actually drove it upstairs, it was without the body, and in the morning I actually showed him. He looks at it, he goes, "What the is that?"
Yeah, they don't make any sense.
Yeah, they don't.
What'd someone say? Someone was having I think my wife said, like, someone was having a fever dream when they came up with this.
No, they have the real ones.
Yeah, I've seen that little. I think it's Toyota or something.
Like,
it's similar.
Yeah, the Toyota, the new Toyota, you got the 2 wheels in the front and 1 single wheel in the back.
Yeah, I knew they were close or something similar to them.
I saw the first one like that on Top Gear. And the way it leaned over all the way when they were like sitting there, it's like nuts.
Yeah,
that's the way to drive.
So, when I put FPV in mine and drove it around, that was a lot of fun.
That would be fun.
So.
Yeah, Bahar Basher says XT50s are awesome. I guess for his truck, he uses the big guys.
XT50. So 50 would be smaller than...
No, the 150, sorry.
Oh, 150. Gotcha. Yes, I've never needed that. But the other one I use is the, I think they call them an MT60. So that's these here. So they're saying it's an XT60, but they're a 3-prong.
Wow, what the heck would you use that for?
So I'll get a setup together that's like, you know, I end up running, like I'll get random cars or things like that, or you need to test something. So I'll set up a motor ESC speed control setup that has all the plugs on it. So I can plug it in, unplug it, test it on this, take it out. It's nice to have like one setup that you can easily move from this to that. And These actually I use on occasion instead of having 3 bullets. I had put this on something just for fun, and then I ended up using it on like another project unrelated to that, unrelated to motor ESC stuff. And I ended up liking them more for that than anything. So I keep them around. I kind of wish they had these in like the 30 size, and they might. I just haven't looked. But every once in a
Those
while,
are the ones you get from RC Juice.
yeah, I've got most of my wiring and stuff like that there.
You get the sucker too.
Well, and you got bubble gum.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I grabbed my dancing rider for you guys.
You got some chrome parts on there?
What's that?
There's some chrome parts on there?
Oh,
the
just
wheel.
paint.
Ah.
Yeah, just the wheels. Yep.
Now you got me curious on where the heck did my dancing rider went.
Your son's got it.
Something.
We want to see Steve-O put his lights that he got under his chair, so he has underglow lighting for his chair.
Oh, I had to rob him for the batteries, but
This is my my other dancing rider project I've been working on, and it's
I saw pictures of that frame. I liked it.
So it's all 3D printed frame, you know, kind of Ducati, tubular style. So it needs a little bit more tweaking here and there before I just designed all this from scratch, and I need a little bit more clearance on the headstock so that it gets proper turning. And then I took and this angle on the bottom tube here was too flat. I needed to kick it up so that it didn't drag when suspension compressed.
Right.
So I made those changes. It's made for a flat pack to lay in the bottom, so super low CG. And then this is a ballast tube on the bottom here. You can see there. And it's made for the tungsten discs that you use in Pinewood Derby cars. So
That looks interesting.
you can ballast it super low. And the other thing that I tested in them is a weighted front wheel. And that actually works really well. Because the biggest thing with these things is they want to push so hard, that front end. So they just don't want to grab. So a little bit of weight in the front wheel really helped.
So I found my dancing rider. It was actually hiding behind my my truck. I use Spaz paint.
Yeah.
So it's a gray Spaz paint, but it's kind of multicolor when you turn it. So
Okay, that's the rainbow effect. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of gives you a rainbow effect. So it's gray, but it's pretty much stock, and it's kind of cool. I like the paint job in the eyes. I made him bloodshot eyes. But it's a fun little car to play with.
No, she should make a Batmobile motif for the dancing rider.
I've thought about that as well. I was kind of thinking about trying to do that with the Cross RC I've got over there, putting it on the back, doing them both in a Batmobile style.
Like the Keaton Batmobile. The wings on it. That would look cool.
Yeah, teeny little wings, little fin in the back, little fake jet in the rear end.
Actually, Hobby King has those. You can get them. They're the strip lights, but they actually get brighter as you hit the throttle. So you can put a cone on the back, and then you can hit it, and it'll illuminate that way.
Yeah, Bill Biden says he was wondering when you're going to get back to that. So I guess he's commenting about your dancing rider.
Yeah, I want to get it done. It's just one of those projects that I haven't had time to finish. And but I think it's a fun little chassis. It just needed some tweaks to be right, and some of the tweaks weren't easy. They considerable design changes. So I had to make some. It was just one of those things where I didn't have all the files created. I pulled hard points where I could, and then brought them into CAD. Designed it all around it, and then there were some things I just overlooked. One was steering angle which should have been a no-brainer. The other was that I didn't make enough clearance for where the little stabilization bar kind of comes up and clears the chassis, so I had to clear out a little there as well. And as things go, especially with design.
That's a
A
fun
lot of engineering.
hobby, though, isn't it? All the design work that you do.
Well, yeah, that's definitely that's my favorite part for sure. But you know, some of those guys over in like Japan, what they're doing with them with F1 pods, and they're shaving the sides of the fork down like halfway, so because they're getting their cars are almost laying flat as they're going around turns.
Oh yeah, I never noticed that. I guess I got to start looking it up more.
Yeah, there's some of those guys are just doing crazy things. You can go buy like the adjustment link or the steering linkage in the back. How got this big weird design so it clears enough that it can lay at like 75 degrees.
Jeez.
So I spend too much time looking at Dancing Rider stuff.
Is there such a thing?
So most would say there is.
Yeah, I found that funny. You were talking about in one of your Monday blog, I think it was. Somebody asked you what's your favorite RC, and you actually said it was a Dancing Rider.
They said favorite. They said what did I think was the best out of the box RC.
That's true. That's true.
So the Dancing Rider out of the box is so much fun. You know, especially once you. I guess it's so much fun once you have more than one of them together. Racing them is where it's truly fun. Stock motor, 2S lipo with honestly a slow or crappy servo, because Sam, here in the shop, he put in one of the TEN stubbies, and that's a fast servo. But the problem was if he turns fast, it just flips the car.
Oh yeah.
It just turns it over. Like he can sit there on the floor and just steer back and forth, and it'll roll over across the shop.
Well, he'd be good for racing sideways.
So, yeah, if he needs to change starting positions, he needs to move one way or the other. Switch back and forth.
I'll show you another thing I'm working on real quick since I got you on. This big thing.
I knew it was going to be that.
Yeah, you knew I was going to get that, eh?
One day they're going to run out of those things, because
No.
I see so many people who have been able to find them and convert them. It's like, man, I don't know how many of them they made and that survived this long, this good a condition.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm working on the inside right now, but what I'm trying to do with mine, it's actually on GCM Cross Canyon chassis.
Yeah.
Canadian guy here. But
Yep.
what I did with mine, if you notice the wheels, they're actually inside the frame. So it's a very narrow. So my wheels are not sticking out the outside, and plus it's leaf all the way.
Leaf spring.
Leaf spring.
Leaf springs.
So this thing handles really cool. I threw a short video up there the other day, and it handles really surprising how it handles. And it's got a 3D printed motor and all that, so it's
Nice.
So on the inside, I've actually.
It doesn't look like your windows have yellowed as badly as a lot of them.
Yeah, well, I still got to change them. I still got to put some new ones. So I got there's my 3D printed motor inside.
Is it a straight 6?
Yeah, no, it is a straight 6. It's a diesel.
Oh, okay. Cummins? Nice.
So I've actually made the front. I cut the front, so I made a little bump like that. I can actually take it off and on and show the motor. So I'm working on the inside right now, finishing up the carpet. So I put brown carpet, finishing up the back. So I got to put.
I can't think of anything that would be easier to actually work on the interior of.
It's true. It is easy, and it comes in 2 parts.
Well, he's got the roof that works still on it. That's amazing.
Yeah. Move that out of the way. You got all kinds of roof.
Too many things.
Project.
So here's the clears the sidewall, so it really makes it easy to work on. Because the whole sidewall comes apart and just clips onto the bottom. The other side's the same. I can take the floor off, work on the floor, and then just put the 3 pieces back in there. So
Things were sure built a lot different then, huh?
oh yeah.
What is the model years on those, do you know?
I can't remember what they are. I think I did post it on there. Let me check real quick. Too many things.
Have you worked with any of the GCM stuff, Josh?
I've used like the forward motor mount in the Vitera chassis with the transfer case, and I've not used their chassis setups before. I can't think of the things from them that I've used.
See, they're saying it's 1970s. Those things were all made in 1970s.
Yeah.
They were released in 82, I think, though, for 1 year. But the bodies were all metal. They're
all older than me.
Well, not me.
That's they're impressive though.
And it is heavy, but it's really neat. I'll send you a link to that Tonka video so you can actually have a look at it. But it's really neat how it handles, and when you're driving with it in the trail, and it's surprising how well I can take a curve fast without it flipping. Or like I got a rope bridge with logs, and it's so bouncy you would think it would flip over, but no, it was just staying on, and it's really cool.
I saw your video not long ago again of you driving the motorhome on the broken bridge, and I could not.
Broken bridge, yeah.
That it was just like too easy.
Oh yeah, my broken bridge. There's a lot of people that screw up if you don't know how to take it, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, your Winnebago made your course look too easy. You have to rework it.
Yeah, because that's a Class 0 truck.
Yeah, well, that's true. It does it have separate front and rear bumpers?
Yes, it does.
All right. I don't know if they have to be separate, do they?
I now have a chassis. The GCM chassis is there. The only thing, my bumper are not attached to the chassis right now, which I think they might have to. I've got to look up on the rules. But I know for Class 0, it has to be an open engine bay, and it has to be a 3D engine in there. Class 1, you don't need that.
Oh, you're set there.
So how many Class 1 do you have? I know you're good on rock racers. You've got a bunch of rock racers.
Let's see. Trying to think what I have that might be Class 1 legal. That Cross RC might be. Is that Class 1 legal? I think the tires are small enough.
Okay. You got to have tire tuck.
Yeah, that would be fine. It would have that.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it would depend on what bed I put on it. Like if the flatbed would have to be appropriate to meet Class 1 rules.
Well, they did come that way. You could buy them as a flatbed, so
it came with it. I just wasn't going to build it with that. And then I've got the axial blazer down there, but the tires are too big on that.
Yeah, I think it's got to be 4.19. Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's got full width. It tucks tires. It's got full width bumpers. So with the tire change there, it would be legal. I think my Origin would be with tire change would be legal.
Yeah, with tire change, it could be a Class 1. Yeah.
Not sure where the forklift falls. I don't know.
What about your Vanquish?
That's my Origin.
Your Origin. Origin.
DS410 Origin. That's probably as much as I have that would be class 1, even close. So that's I would say most of my stuff would fall much closer to class 2.
And did you ever have one of these guys, a TF2?
I've had TF2s.
Okay.
I don't like leaf springs.
You don't like leaf spring?
I hate leaf springs.
It is a different ride.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Driving a leaf spring to Lynx, it's completely different truck.
Right.
Mind you, you don't take a leaf spring in competition rock crawling because you won't do
Some
good.
do. We competed with people against it, but it's you know, doesn't mean you
Because
should.
you do competition, 1-to-1 competition, right?
I did. I haven't, like, since I moved out here, California. I don't.
Yeah, because last year I think you made a couple video when you were spotting for a guy. Was that
Yep.
was that last year? I think
That would have been 2015.
that long ago. Wow.
Yeah. I've been out here almost 3 years. So since I came out here, I haven't.
I remember your video where you were talking about you were moving.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a trek. Things move fast.
I've been a long-time subscriber, if I remember that.
I think I started making videos in like 2011 or so, 2012, on my current channel. I had an old channel where I did I had Futaba videos, for programming a radio, things like that. But I started my other channel in like 2011 or 2012.
Yeah. Bill Biden says when he was young, he used to have a Tonka dump truck, earth mover, front end loader, and a bulldozer, and a road grader. He used to have those.
I've seen some of those.
Well, I have all those in the back. The only thing I don't have is the bulldozer. That's the only thing I don't have.
Yeah, the bulldozer I think I may have seen as a kid or had played with as a kid, but the rest of them I think I've only ever seen as an adult.
But once I get enough money, that is a plan of mine to actually convert the road grader into an RC.
That would be a fun one.
Because what I want to do is power. I actually got a truck to actually do it, but I want to put motor on axle in the front and the rear.
Yeah.
And to turn, I want to put a servo right in the middle, because in the middle it turns like this. So there's a shaft in the middle. I want to put that servo on that shaft with a gear, and that's how it's going to turn. I don't want the wheels to turn, because on a grader they don't. So, and I'd like to put a servo on the grader so it actually lifts the whole side, and also put the center one and actually turn it also. So there's a whole bunch of things I'd like to do, but it's a budget thing more than anything.
Yeah, and some of that stuff can add up. You need either strong servos or you need gear motors and
Hydraulics.
Like that.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Those special projects can eat up a budget very fast.
Yeah. A regular project can eat up a budget really fast.
Yeah. Well, just like you, what you've done with the Dragbolt, you must be hitting 600, even a little bit more by the time you start counting all the little parts you're putting in there.
I mean, retail on a lot of this stuff would be, especially if you count the $300 kit, tires and wheels. I've got Vanquish steering knuckles on it just to try and keep things in line. A lot of titanium links. Granted, most of this stuff was stuff I was either to get, or I had, the motor and ESC is a takeout from a Baja Ray. At this point, I'm still running a Tactic servo on this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
I think Matt blew his up, eh?
He did. The ABC I think ate his up, and I'm going to change the servo out here on mine as well. I think my new servo will probably be on the next video. No, maybe not. So I've got to go to Vegas.
Expensive servos.
What's that?
You're a big fan of expensive servos.
I do like a good servo. That is true. So,
Yeah, your budget builds are not my budget.
that is something that's been very hard to get across a lot of I'm not that channel. I'm not the Hobby Wing 1080 and a sealed can to my channel. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I don't play with one-to-ones because I don't think that I could do it to the level that I would want. If whatever I do, I really want to do. I want to try and play at the best.
Yeah.
I know I can't do that at the one-to-one level, but
that's why you went to work with Vanquish, because Vanquish does have very good products. They're high-quality products.
And I was trying to do as much as I could before that, and I really like these toy cars. But I like to try and push them to whatever they can be pushed to. So, like a 60-mile-an-hour crawler.
Yeah. Yeah, Jack with Phantom Guess, he logged on real quick at the beginning, but then he left. I was talking to him this morning about this, and I was telling him that you converted a deadbolt to go over 60 miles an hour. He goes, why? Why do you want to do that? I go, because you can, and it's fun. So
it is purely because it's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
Matt and I have a whole list of just bad ideas, and that's what this is going to be. So
a lot of cool things come from bad ideas, though.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. But I am being summoned. I think I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. I appreciate the invite.
Thanks for coming in and jumping in. I really appreciate it.
No problem. It's good talking with all of you. Well, I'm sure I'll see you.
All right, take it easy, man.
Take it easy, guys. We'll see you later.
Thanks. Cool. Well, that was nice of him to drop by.
Very cool. Can't believe he got that thing as fast as he did.
The what? Oh yeah, he's got like, and he said he broke the 60 tonight, so he's going to be editing the video and putting that up tonight. So hopefully tomorrow we'll have a couple video.
I can't get my regular cars to go 60 miles per hour.
Come on, the Traxxas Slash should go over 60 miles an hour.
No, I don't know. I'm just joking around with that.
Yeah, I know.
I need to get a GPS though.
How fast does your chair go?
Probably like 7, 8 maybe. On a good day, downhill.
Downhill, yeah.
Depends how big the hill is.
We'll have to work on that, man.
Yeah, I might be able to hit 60 if you put me on the top of a mountain.
Oh, we have to get you some. Have to make it so you can go from sitting to like creeping.
Oh, it does. It has the lean back on it.
Cut your drag coefficient down.
Yeah, this thing does have a drag brake. As soon as you let off on the little throttle stick, it stops you right there in its tracks.
Wow.
Drag baiting at its finest.
Oh, my video is buffering. My live video is buffering. Hopefully it's not buffering for you guys and it's okay.
That's smooth.
So when you guys building your drag bolts?
Well, see, me and Dave, when we heard that he was going to start that, I did have a couple ideas of what to do and how to do it. And we almost jumped in, but it's the budget thing that I didn't have. So I had too many things on the go.
Yeah, to keep my hobby alive here, I got to do jobs for other people. I'm going to be making another dump truck or another tow truck.
Yeah, Troy's going to be building a tow truck. Why don't you show that tow truck you're going to be building?
Just the body?
Yeah, show the body. Come on. It's amazing. Get it ready?
Nice. You built that from scratch?
No.
No, this is the body I'm putting the tow truck on.
Oh, okay. I get you.
Here's the base. Because of the age, it's gonna have.
Cool. Did he give you a wheelbase? to work
Yeah,
with?
I've got the wheelbase. Like, this body, the wheel arch starts here, and we bolt it together. So it looks like a nice body. Just surprised it was pink when I pulled it out of the box. But yeah, I do like the look of this truck.
Mike Burgess, you just missed you just missed somebody here. We had a Harley design in here. So talking about his Dragbolt.
Do you have any interest in the Vanquish Origin?
I wish I could afford one.
But me, I got no interest into that one right now, no.
It's pretty expensive, isn't it?
It is, but when you really think about it, by the time you buy an SCX10 and put all the metal and all the parts and all the things that's in that truck for options, like all the axles and all the links and all the metal that's in there, you're going to end up paying a heck of a lot more than what the truck is actually worth.
That one isn't the one that you have to supply an SCX10 frame for, is it?
No.
No, it's I think it what $1,200 or $1,400 for it.
I can't remember. Well, Axiomatic says he just built one, so he would know how much they're worth.
Axiomatic, he's in the States, isn't he?
Yeah, New Jersey.
Yes, he says water.
Yep.
Watching a lot of his videos lately.
Joel Man Productions dropped by to say hi. He saw us at the with Chris and Neil show, so he's dropped by to say hi. He's in the chat, so check him out, guys. So Axiomatic says that kit is $8.99, and that's probably US. So for us, it's probably $1,200 or $1,400 by the time you're done with it. Yeah, you need to supply an ESC for it. ESC and probably a motor. So the electronics doesn't come with it.
Yeah, so that's probably about $1,200 total for US. All said and done.
Yeah.
$8.99.
Yeah, he says it's $8.99. What are we at now? 0.177 or 175?
Not sure. 899 US.
So guys, check Scale Builders Guild and Early Design. They got some cool competition going on now. So
that would that kit would cost us $1,160.51 as of today.
and that's not even counting if they're going to charge us brokerage.
Oh God, yes, I hate that.
Because it's from US, and by the time you ship it, if Purelate or whatever, sometimes they ding you with another tax or brokerage fees.
If I was gonna save up for that truck, I think the one thing I would do differently, or I don't even know if you could do that. I would substitute the axles that are in that kit for the portal axles.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were asking, is telling them, how come you did not do portal axles for it yet? Because I don't think Vanquish has portal axles, but a lot of people were asking that. The problem with portal axle is that they've been breaking. Nobody's made one, and because of the gearing and all that, it's just too much torque on them.
Doesn't Vanquish have a portal axle?
I don't think so.
I think they do.
I can look it up, but I don't think they do. Axiomatic says it's like $230 for the Mamba Max, $20.50, and $90 for the servo.
Axiomatic, I like your videos, man. I've been watching a lot of them lately. Thanks to these guys.
Bahar Bro at Basher, what are you saying? Unimog with Vanquish portal axle? So does Vanquish actually have portal axle? I wasn't sure if they did. Oh yeah, here it is. Vanquish has portal axle for $299 for the front and $199 for the rear.
There you go.
Cool. And Axiomatic says thanks for stopping by and looking at his channel. Cool. I'm trying to read at the same time.
Yeah, I'm medicated right now, so I can't look at the chat.
That's funny.
So, Steve O.D., did you finish your car?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yep.
see, man.
Let's see it with all the stickers. Where is it?
Let's see if you can see it. Can you see it from there?
Oh yeah.
Somewhat. I didn't put all the stickers on it because there was like way too many. Is it coming in?
Axiomatic put all his stickers on.
Yeah.
No, I saw you in that video, man, where you like cutting up all those stickers. I'm like, oh, you're knitting something, and then I saw you with the scissors like this. I'm like, oh, okay, he's just still cutting stickers out.
Yeah, I got them all cut out. The rest of them, I got a big pile here, but like a lot of it's like the trim and that. And I was like, well, instead of putting a sticker on there, if I wanted to do it, I would just hit it with a silver pen, you know, paint pen.
Find those rocks on the Lex pens?
I don't know, maybe. But I just left alone because I didn't want it to, like, if I grabbed it and then next thing you know, I got half of it gone.
Right.
And I I liked the green without the stickers, but I figured I'd put some stickers on it so it, you know, it would show that it's number 71 from Jägermeister.
Oh man, that is a nice color on that car.
Thanks,
So
man.
Axiomatics is saying he was waiting for Steve O.D. to start yelling at Harley. Now, why would you want to yell at Harley?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Probably because he didn't like the probably the comment that he was talking about that he's seen it. Because I asked him, why didn't on the Scale News, how come you didn't mention that? He always mentions the Tamiya Dancing Rider, but I said, how come you didn't mention the comical grasshopper that's coming out? That's news. And he was like, it doesn't interest me, and it's not Scale News. Like, so like I text back like, but answering a question, who would win in a fight between a fish sandwich and a meat sandwich was more news than that. So I don't know.
Answered that. I remember that.
But no, I wasn't gonna be like that. And if it didn't interest them, it didn't interest them. I said that's your channel, so I'm not gonna. I'm just saying some people might have wanted to hear about it that didn't know about it. But
I saw it when you guys posted it up on the last video.
What's that?
I saw it in the last video that you guys were on that I missed. That was.
Oh yeah, when
back. So.
Tank brought it up.
My wife saw me coming up. Where are you going? To go sit on the computer, Lily. Oh no, I know it's Thursday. I know what you're doing. No, you're not doing that.
So for the trailer, for the big white trailer that you made for me, I was thinking of using, and I showed that on the last video, but you weren't there.
Leaf springs, no axle.
Yeah, it's just a leaf spring. So basically on a carrier for a Traxxas, but I just laid it to the side. I just have to drill another hole here that comes up there, and then I can actually put that underneath the trailer. And if I put 2 wheels, it should be strong enough and not be.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about there, because the bolt is it's not a long bolt like what we have here. With this one, the bolt for the wheel actually starts way out here.
Yep.
And it goes way out. And where this is mechanically fixed and it's solid, I'm not sure if you're going to get a lot of. You might get some toe in and toe out on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I would be worried about.
Yeah, it's worth a try, but even if I put a link in between the two, it might be good also.
Yeah.
I'll experiment and see how it turns out.
So you're going to put 2 wheels on each side.
Yeah, I'm going to put 4 wheels, yeah. I actually took the wheel and I had it, but I got to drill it out. Now, where the heck did it go? I can't see it. I'm going to have to get the other one. I had 4 of them out, but right now I can't find 2 of them. So I was thinking of these wheels, which are a heck of a lot smaller than this, to go underneath.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to drill out this hole because I tried putting it in there, but this is a smaller diameter, so I got to drill it out a little bit. But the hex, it is a 12 millimeter hex, so it's going to fit. So that should be interesting.
What are you going to use for hangers?
I don't know yet. I haven't thought that far. I want to make sure that this works. I got to drill it. I got to try the other tire on it. I got to try a couple of things first to actually see if it's going to work. If not, I'm just going to go straight axle and just put a sleeve, put a sleeve on top of my threaded rod.
Brake line.
Yeah. Or even I thought of, I could actually use what I got from, where did it go? I have them here somewhere. Here they are. So I got these. These are Team Raffi. They're to actually build links. But it's actually an aluminum rod.
And they're threaded?
And it is threaded all the way through. So you just take it out, but this is a hollow tube.
That's the one you cut to size, right?
Yeah, that's the one you cut to size, and you can make your own links.
Well, there's an axle
the size
right
you
there,
want.
dude.
Hey?
There's your axle right there.
Yeah. So I could do that. I just cut the black one a little shorter, and I could put a bearing here.
Yeah.
And do the same thing you guys did. Get somebody with a 3D printer and print a.
You have that trailer, this
Yep.
chassis, so
Yep.
you can look at that and just copy it.
So like I got 5 of these, so that's no problem. So that's the other option is I can use this. I can use 2 of these.
That's cool, yeah. Especially where you want to, if you're just going to have it low and it's being, like, you're not actually going to be rock crawling with Winnebago pulling the trailer. I see you'll be on trails and stuff like that.
Yep.
But you're not going to need the clearance, so why not just axle it straight through?
Yeah, and I could put this directly on the leaf, on top of the leaf or on the bottom of the leaf, and just shackle this onto the leaf if I really wanted leaves. But these one are the long ones. I might be looking for some shorter ones that you get off eBay or whatever, or even the tractor trailer ones. So
Those should work. Like you can make a center link. The wheel that is on it now, let me see that under the trailer.
the wheels that are on what?
On your leaf spring right now.
Yeah. This is the tire. This is the tire that's actually on the Winnebago.
Okay.
So that's the 3.6. Yeah, these are 3.6.
Yeah, so put that underneath the trailer.
That means I gotta get up and get it.
Frank's being lazy.
Have you thought about using four-wheel drive sedan tires? I don't have any, so I can't try and see how big they are. But I do have on-road cars. But yeah, I could use those tires also.
Think you fell.
So I just found my two tires I was looking for.
The back of the trailer?
Yeah, they're in the trailer. The two tires I was looking for are actually in the trailer.
If you make your carrier for your leaf spring, so your center one is, you can actually.
So here's the bottom of the trailer, and here's the axle. See?
That's perfect.
So I don't really have to cut them, but if well, I will have to cut them if I want the wheels to go in between here. If I want them to be on the inside a little bit. So that's that small tire. This is the big one here, but I think these, I'll turn it around, might be too big.
Yeah.
So these might be too big. These would look perfect on there.
Those I think look actually a little bit too small.
And then I have, running out of room, I have on-road tires. So this is the size of the on-road, which is basically the same as this. And this is the tires that used to be on my Razor buggy. So they're a little bit bigger than the on-road, and they are a little bit bigger than these. So these might be a good fit also. So I got 4 of these.
I think that would be a good fit.
And if ever, let's see, and then it comes back to these that I now have on those, but those are a little bit bigger, which I find they might be a little smaller than those. Those are probably the 1/16 monster truck, like he was saying. One thing I don't like about them, they're too wide. So
You could cut them and glue them.
yeah. So the set of tires that might be good might be these that used to be on the Razor buggy. So they look like street tires.
Yeah, I like those.
Nice tread.
And they're square too, so
yeah.
Type of tire you'd see on a big trailer.
So that one might be good for that.
I've got someone actually working on my logo now too, so and that's
I gotta find somebody to work on my logo.
it's in the works right now. It's actually the wife of the person I'm building the tow truck for. She's into graphic arts and stuff like that. So she's gonna make up a logo. So when I have that file, I'll send it to you guys for the wrap.
Cool.
Has Chris seen the wagon yet, or the trailer yet?
Yes, at the last crawl, I went and I meant to take a picture with it, and he said, "You're crazy."
Why?
Because it just looks crazy. It looks nuts. It goes, wow. It goes, it's crazy what he does with styrene.
Why do you call me crazy, man? What?
I was with another guy. Well, he was with another guy there that comes from Alberta. He just moved to Ontario. And he's the guy from Scaletown.
Scaletown, yeah.
So he was there at the crawl when I showed him the trailer, and I showed him the other one also. But I showed him that, so he was kind of impressed also on the work that you did.
I like Chris from Scaletown. He's a good guy. I've been talking to him for quite a while.
Yeah, I actually did a video and I'm holding the camera. I go, "Oh, we have Chris and Chris here."
Cool. I'll look for that.
And Monday we're gonna have one more video of the G6 race, but it's on the beach. But this time it's going to be with the vintage class, so that should be interesting.
That will be cool. Chris from Scaletown, was he driving his LC70 with the tilted back end tailgate?
He was driving. He actually, the last two videos he did, that's the one he had. I don't think he had his LC70. No.
Okay.
He had another truck there, and what I commented on his video, I love the video. I especially love the last shots of the video, which was my truck and my son's truck. So on Scaletown, the last, when he's panning and look around at the trucks, it's my truck and Sebastian's truck and the other guy that was with me. So that was fun.
Chris's truck there, his LC70, he old and he built that utility box on the back of it. It can go in or out. The tailgate isn't like it's tilted it back like that.
Okay.
And all the gear he has in that is one of my it's the number one in my top 10 trucks that other people have built. I just love that thing.
Cool. Axiomatic says he really likes those G6 video, and he says that the water, because he did it on purpose, like when people were racing, they had to hug that log that was near the water. The water is like a magnet, so as soon as you try to go into the water just brings you in there. But it was funny how many cars went there. There's actually 2 or 3 cars that actually died. They weren't waterproof. So one guy said, he says, "Man, it's a third receiver I put in this car today," because he went 3 times in the water. So he was running out of receivers.
You have your formal coating in your kit.
Oh, Scale Nation RC's there. He's there actually listening on the chat. He said he had the LC70 there, but did not use it.
Right on, Chris. Didn't even realize you were there. I can't see the chat, but good to see you, buddy.
Next time, Chris, you should come on and chat with us and chit chat and talk on the video. Makes it easier than chatting, I find.
Yeah, he can turn your mic on. You don't have to have your camera on, dude.
Yeah, if you're camera shy, just put the mic on. Or you do like Steve O.D. while you're working and while you're grinding and you're making all that noise, we have to mute your mic.
You never do. I never do that.
No.
No.
We could just have like a piece of styrene going across the screen as you're working so that you don't see your face.
Cool. Scale Nation is not Scaletown, LOL. That's true.
Oh, so Chris isn't there?
That's true, Scale Nation RC. That's the wrong guy. Sorry. Go to channel. Let's see. Let's see his channel. Scale Nation RC. He's got 2 subscribers. Nope, it's not. It's Scale Nation, not Scaletown.
When Chris left Alberta, he had left all the buildings he had donated to.
Scale Nation, put some videos up. Upload some videos. I was going to subscribe to you, but you got no videos. I can't subscribe to you. There's no videos. Oh, looks like he's got some of my videos in there in his like videos. Cool. Thanks a lot.
There you go.
Yeah, he's got a playlist there that is liked videos, so he's got that up.
How do you add videos to your playlist?
Well, you create your playlist. Oh,
Yeah, you just hit the add to, and then it shows you a list
yeah.
of your playlist, and you just highlight the box that you want it, which playlist you want it, or multiple play.
Like, how do you get other people's videos where you can actually do that?
Okay, well, you got to share your liked playlist, or you can actually create a playlist with other people's video. You can actually do that. When you go to add to playlist, when you're watching a video, there's a little button that you can click on it, and then it says add to playlist, and then you can add it to any of your playlist or actually create a new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like there's the thumbs up, the thumbs down, the share arrow, and then it's like 3 lines with a plus sign. That's the one you hit, and you can add it that way.
Okay. See, I thought there was I'd have to go through a process of.
Yeah, so there's thumbs up, like he was saying, thumbs up, thumbs down, share. Right beside the share, there's a bunch of line with a plus. If you click that, it tells you to save to. And then you can save it to a playlist, make a new playlist, or do whatever. And then you can share that playlist with the public or not share that playlist with the public. Because I have some that is actually, if I want to view it later, like a view later playlist, and also a fun playlist. I usually put some videos in there, and then I watch it later. But those are not public.
Okay, I'll get the ins and outs of this. I am looking at gimbals though, so I can start recording some of my trails.
Cool.
This back thing right now is killing me, man. I got a run in just before it happened with my RCs, but since then I have not been out with the RCs. It's not level ground. I'm just not very good on it right now.
Okay.
Not being out every day with the RC is just horrid.
Yeah, for people that don't know, Troy actually hurt himself. So he fell in the hay, and he did not fall in the hay with another girl. He just fell in the hay between some bales and fell on a piece of wood.
Inside the barn.
Yeah.
Fluid disc.
So now I got to do some axles. But first, I got to finish a whole bunch of different projects I'm working on. And my son just started hockey. Big song and dance. Life's getting in the way.
Does he play travel?
He plays hockey. He plays goaltender.
Yeah, I was saying travel hockey or house or.
Oh, it's just house. House league. I wanted him to try the pro, one step up. There's actually 2 leagues here. There's house, one step up, and then there's another one that's even better. But we were gone on vacation. Like I was gone to see Troy. So at the end of August, they were starting to sort out if the kids were good enough. And I wanted to register Seb, but we weren't going to be back in time. So
yeah, I played house my first year, and then I went from A to AA, and then I stopped right there at AA travel.
Okay.
Used to play
in AA also, but I wanted him to try. I wanted him to try not to. Even if he would have qualified to go, I probably would not have let him go because it would have been too expensive on me.
Yeah, it is big bucks.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I gotta let you go. I can't sit like this anymore.
Yeah, it's getting
all right,
late.
man.
And us too. We've been on for almost 2 hours there.
Yes, sir.
All right. So thanks everybody for coming. I'll see
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, Ethan says he'd be here with us, but he's got to study. Thanks, Ethan. Thanks for dropping by.
All right, Ethan. Everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, and if ever you guys want to play NHL 2018 on the Xbox, let me know. I got it on the Xbox. We can play against each other. I can get my son to play against you also. Anyway, cool. Well, thanks a lot for dropping by. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the show and talking to Harley. That was kind of fun. Josh, Harley. I invited a bunch of other people to come in here tonight. It didn't work out. Maybe next time. So you never know who's going to show up in here. Thanks, Louis, for dropping in. We have these chat every Thursday night. If you want to jump in and talk with a microphone or talk with a camera, you're more than welcome. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll talk to you later. Peace. Like this video and comment and subscribe. Thanks, bye.